Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Nico Harrison created a new problem that will continue to haunt new-look Mavericks. April 9, 2025, marks one of the strangest days in Dallas Mavericks history that no one could have ever predicted. After expecting Luka Doncic to be a Maverick forever through watching him take over the NBA in his first 6.5 seasons in the league, Nico Harrison blindsided him and traded him to the Los Angeles Lakers in the middle of the night on February 1. This was a move that broke every Mavericks fan's heart, as they wanted to see him retire a Maverick, and last night marked the toughest part of this process yet. April 9, 2025, marks one of the strangest days in Dallas Mavericks history that no one could have ever predicted. After expecting Luka Doncic to be a Maverick forever through watching him take over the NBA in his first 6.5 seasons in the league, Nico Harrison blindsided him and traded him to the Los Angeles Lakers in the middle of the night on February 1. This was a move that broke every Mavericks fan's heart, as they wanted to see him retire a Maverick, and last night marked the toughest part of this process yet. In 33 minutes, Davis finished with 13 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 block while shooting 5-13 from the field and 0-2 from downtown, and he was not able to leave his mark on this game like Mavs fans hoped. This quiet game from Davis exposed a new problem that could cripple the Davis-led Mavericks now and deep into the future. As shown by his stats and by watching the game, the Mavericks struggled getting Davis the ball, especially in the first half, as he only attempted 5 shots in the first 24 minutes of action. With Davis sharing the floor with Derek Lively II or Daniel Gafford, the Mavericks' spacing is extremely hard to work with, and Davis had no space to get the rock and go to work. This is a major problem that Harrison created, as Dallas' two big lineups may not be as powerful as he expected against certain lineups. It's not like Los Angeles' frontcourt is strong to begin with, but the constant pressure and double teams held Davis in check for most of the game. He did not look fully engaged, and he was not in killer mode like the man that he was traded for was. It's not like Davis can bring the ball up every time down the floor, and it's much different getting him involved than what the Mavericks had with Doncic. Getting Davis into the flow of things could continue to be a major challenge with Dallas' current roster construction, especially with Kyrie Irving out of the lineup for the foreseeable future due to a torn ACL. Davis was Harrison's guy, as he only pursued him when shopping Doncic, and Harrison's vision of a dominant frontcourt in Dallas with Davis and Lively II and Gafford is still feasible, but it is going to take considerable time for them to get into the swing of things and figure out how to best utilize Davis. Seeing Doncic dominate and Davis flounder on the biggest stage was a hard sight to see for Mavericks fans, and it further justifies what every fan knew when the trade went down: that Dallas made a mistake. 3 takeaways from Mavericks' loss to Luka Doncic. Lakers' Luka Doncic made his first return to the American Airlines Center on Wednesday night since the dumb decision to trade him in February, and he led the LA Lakers to a 112-97 win over his former Dallas Mavericks. His emotions were flowing early and that poured into his play, clearly playing with the most energy of anyone on the floor. Outside of Najee Marshall and Daniel Gafford, no one played like their season was potentially on the line. Anthony Davis was noticeably quiet in this game, finishing with 13 points and 11 rebounds on 5-13 shooting. For being the primary return from the Luka Doncic trade, it's not the performance you wanted from him. Here are 3 takeaways from this loss. Read more. Luka Doncic's 45 points lead Lakers over Mavericks in his Dallas return, 112-97. 1. What LeBron James is doing is amazing. LeBron James is 40 years old and in year 22 in the NBA and still is able to take over the fourth quarter when he needs to. He had 13 points in the fourth on 6-10 shooting, controlling the game after the Mavs came back to take a brief lead. Overall, he finished with 27 points, and a lot of them came from just playing smart basketball, cutting behind the defense, and saving energy for when he needed to explode to the basket. It's amazing watching him play. 2. Luka Doncic is still amazing, and it's a shame he's gone. Luka Doncic did not deserve to be traded or be treated by the Mavericks the way he was in the immediate aftermath of the trade. That man still loves the city of Dallas and its fans, and he gave them a show with 45 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. It was like watching last year's playoffs but with tears in our eyes because we'll never see it on the Mavericks again. All because of a power-hungry man. 3. The Mavericks lost the trade. Well, duh. But it was apparently obvious in this. The Lakers were feeding off of Luka Doncic's energy, while Anthony Davis had no energy. Even if you argue that Davis playing through injury, so is Luka Doncic. And he basically doubled what AD and Max Christie combined to score. What about the defensive impact? Doncic had 4 steals, matching the steals and blocks Davis and Christie combined for. People who try to be optimistic will say that there is still plenty of time for history to decide the victor, but there is no timeline where this trade would have been beneficial for the Mavericks. The trade stunk when it was made and it has somehow only gotten worse. Trae Young drops bold take on Luka Doncic. Mavericks trade. Luka Doncic walked out of the American Airlines Center visitors' locker room for the first time ever. The former Dallas Mavericks star made his emotionally charged return in front of his first NBA fan base, this time with the Los Angeles Lakers. NBA All-Star Trae Young, however, dropped a bold take before the opening tip. Young only needed 5 words to grab fans' attention online. Here's what the Atlanta Hawks star shared. He was never gonna leave, Young posted on X. Young revealed his belief that Doncic wanted to remain in Dallas. He never believed Doncic orchestrated the trade and told the Mavs he wanted out. Still, Mavs general manager Nico Harrison delivered the shocking February trade that sent Doncic over to the Lakers. Trae Young watched Luka Doncic go off on Mavericks in return. Young and the Hawks had the night off before taking on the Brooklyn Nets. So Young joined the rest of the world in watching the highly anticipated Dallas homecoming for Doncic. And Doncic delivered one epic scoring night, showing retribution in front of the GM who sent him away. Doncic dropped 31 points before halftime. The newest Lakers shooter and passer even added further insult to Harrison and the Mavs on the floor. Doncic nailed a step-back three-pointer that sailed over Anthony Davis. The 2020 NBA champion Davis was part of the stunning deal Harrison orchestrated with the Lakers. Doncic's Lakers eventually pulled away. Los Angeles rolled to the 112-97 romp of the Mavs. The Lakers held Dallas to only 40 combined second-half points. Doncic exploded on the same floor where he brought a Western Conference title banner back 1 year ago. He scored 45 points on his old pals on 16 of 28 field goal shooting. Doncic nailed 7 baskets from behind the arc. He lured down 8 rebounds and dished 6 assists. Doncic got showered with a Luka chant after taking the win. Doncic now has the Lakers 1 win away from securing their 50th regular season win. Los Angeles sits at 3rd in the Western Conference standings. The team that sent him to LA, meanwhile, is 38-42 now. Are you a fan? What do you think of Trae Young's statement? Leave your opinion in the comments.